Good day. My name is Christopher Lamb, and behind me is a fairly normal early 20th century British townhouse located on Harley Street in London. As much as it may seem normal, however, this particular house has long since held the rather infamous title of scene of the crime. In order to fully understand the natures of the crimes themselves, it is necessary to take a look at the surroundings in which they were committed. Shall we go in? The suit of armor is still here, I see. That is, it isn't an authentic armor. The psychiatrist who owned the house at the time the crimes were committed had procured it from the London Opera House. I am told it had been used as the statue of the Commendatore in a quite stellar production of Don Giovanni. Let us now go on to the grand entry hall. Many a distinguished guest was greeted here. One can almost picture Turnberry the butler bowing us into the house and saying, "Would you care for a spot of tea, sir?" At least, I have been led to believe that that was how this particular butler generally welcomed visitors. Now here we have the sitting room, where the psychiatrist would see his patients, where Turnberry would serve the guests their spots of tea, and where the women would be sent after dinner when the men wanted to discuss, well, whatever it was that the women supposedly wouldn't understand. The piano is even still in tune. The owner of the house had a particular fondness for Handel arias, I believe. Or at least, he enjoyed playing "O Ruddier Than the Cherry." Now, this hallway really doesn't have much connection to the crimes, but it does lead out to the garden, which is where the first crime took place. The garden really is quite stunning, isn't it? The psychiatrist took great pride in his garden, and rightfully so, as it was just as nice back then. The first crime was committed right here under the pavilion. A young lady who was a guest at the house for the evening had gone for a stroll in the garden and seated herself here to enjoy the silence. A moment later, there emerged from the shadows a man shrouded in cowled cloak and mask. In a fell voice, he spoke to the young lady and then advanced upon her and proceeded to... Well, I'll not dwell on it. Rather chilly out here, isn't it? Perhaps we had better get back indoors. Now, while no crimes were committed here, the library is still vital to their understanding. Of course, as the owner was a psychiatrist, the majority of these books related to his profession, and while doubtless interesting, were rather dry. It is the books which the doctor read for pleasure that give us insight into his character. Dante's Divine Comedy, Goethe's Faust, a treasury of Greek myths, love poems and sonnets of William Shakespeare, and a book of reproductions of great paintings. All rather interesting reads, don't you think? This particular doctor was not afraid of leaving finite reality for the infinite world of fantasy from time to time. Let us now go on to the precise scene of the second crime. This is where it took place. And it is rather hard to say which of the two crimes was the most horrible. The psychiatrist had received a jewelry box with a gift from a young lady. As per her instructions, he took it into his bedroom to open it. But first, he took the precaution to make certain that no one would disturb him. Now, he was sure he was alone with the young lady's gift. So then...